Today is 2 weeks since John's memorial. Six weeks tomorrow since he died. And we just flew across the country. Obviously, first time with the boys without John. And getting ready, I was so manic. Just, my body hurt. I was so manic. I mean, scrubbing out the oven and just mopping the floor and scrubbing toilets and just to the last minute and beyond. The day after, I think almost the day after John died, I set these vacations up. We had plenty of points, and I want to be intentional on moving forward. No, that's the wrong language. It sounds like if I'm moving forward, well, I don't want to move away. And I don't. It is though kind of like when I'm looking at all of our photos, I have, big display of just us. And it almost is like looking through a funnel. And I look back at the beginning and they're so far away. And the issue is that I know that person, I know those people, I have those memories, but they're looking, they're looking way, way out there, and they get smaller and smaller on this little backwards funnely thing. And as they get closer and closer and closer to today, in the present, I know that as I continue to live on this side of eternity, that the presence, the big in my face of today, will scoot back over the years, the months, and it's still very real. But it's smaller. It's like looking at a picture of childhood and knowing you know that person, but I don't want him to be smaller in my life. I hear his voice inside my head. All the time. I feel so tied to his responses and his questions and his comments that in scheduling this vacation on my own, I brought us into an airport 2 hours from our destination. There was one very close by, but I didn't manage to make that happen. So I'm physically and emotionally exhausted at the moment. We've been traveling for 12 hours or more. In the last 2 hours, I just drove. The boys were all asleep, and I could hear the conversation we'd have. Some new ideas about work that I'm thinking about, and kind of what he talks about, some of the politics, and I'm thinking, oh, I guess I should kind of listen to some political stuff occasionally because John usually fills me in and I get more than my fair share of it. Some of the billboards along the side of the road that I'm like, oh, he would point that one out, I know, and he'd want to say, hey, that might be something we want to do with the boys this week. He's so present in my mind, in just the minutia of life. And I realized I don't want to be strong and so strong that I don't show emotion to the boys. They've seen me cry plenty of times, but I don't want them to think that be strong, don't. We talk about Dad all the time. We just bring him in, we weave him into our conversations. We don't hold back from, I don't ever want him to be taboo in our life. And I'm hoping that I just have a gut instinct and that God just makes it clear to me how much was, how much is of John do we weave into our lives. We don't want to live in a state of constantly talking about him where we can't create new memories as a family. And I really, really want us to be able to create family memories and know that this is our family. I don't want to walk around always feeling like, well, it's not really family because we're missing Dad. I'm working very hard. In the moment since he died, it feels like a moment. I realized I haven't even had, I've had about, less than an hour for sure, but maybe a half an hour where all the boys were gone. No one was at my house. And I just looked into his eyes, the photos where he's looking at me. And I just cried out for my Johnny. I feel like I don't have time to grieve. There's always people around, and here we are on this vacation. And truly, I have no desire to be on a vacation. On the way here, the last 2 hours, I sang worship songs, and I, try to keep it fairly upbeat. They can tell I'm sad, but I want them to see the full spectrum of emotion. I want them to see me praising God in the midst of my storm and pain. I don't have a desire to be on vacation, and yet I have a desire to create family, to create memories, and just I really don't even know what the heck I'm doing here. Where am I going to get the energy for a week? I'm hopeful that I'm hopeful that this helps some or all of them. Maybe not now, maybe they don't know it now. But in their future, in my future, that this is worth it. Because right now, it accentuates the loneliness. You know, holidays and vacations and family meals and traditions. They're the foundation. There's like a glaring, you get the magnifying glass, and it's like glaring on it, burning the little ant. And I'm the little ant. We are all the little ant. I know this accentuates for the boys. You can't hide from it. You know, at home we can get busy in a different way, hide in video games they might do, or visit somebody or whatever, but getting on a plane, first of all, the responsibility weighs heavy on me. Somehow it's just different. And I was looking over on my phone our seats before we got on the first plane, and I kept going, we're in rows 11 and 12, and I have I'm looking through them, click, 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 and I'm like, I don't understand. We're in EF, 11E, 11F. They're not in nice order, so I keep like trying to grab it around my mind or grasp it, and so that we don't get on and not be quick. So I'm looking at 11E and 12F and 11D and 11E, and I'm going back and forth with this, and I'm thinking, I'm going, okay, what am I missing? I'm doing it over and over, and one of my boys says, because we had DEF on one of them, and I just could get EF, and I couldn't figure it out, and mine just happened to show D on mine. It doesn't matter, but he says, he says, that is all of them, Mom. Yours is just alone. We've always been this like little 6-pack, we take up 3, we pick up 2 rows, and I mean, obviously. Obviously, I'm fully aware he's not here. But it just, yeah, you're right. I kept counting 5 over and over, but it didn't compute. I kept looking for the missing one. He's not missing. I know where he is. He is on the other side of eternity. And I just keep reminding myself that I'm going to trust that God's timing is perfect. Even though it feels like crap. This is one of the longest periods of quietness I've had. And I'm very thankful for the boys, because if I had quietness like this all the time, I might get stuck. I think they're coming though.